There's Corner episode 59. So we got one more to go. Next week will be the 60th episode for this uh, for this live stream. So if you're watching this on a rewind, thank you very much. If you're gonna join us later on this live showcast, thank you very much. So with that said, today we're just gonna talk about FOC new comic book day that we'll be releasing this week, and I got two books to show you on a pickup. And also, there's a topic that we want to talk about is called "Is influencer good for the hobby or not?" This is something that Hazel Dan has brought to my attention about one video and how he has learned a lesson from listening to the influencers, and he has nothing good to say. But before we go on, guys, I know I am probably about 5-10 minutes early, but I figure why not and share with you guys this year 79 comics from the UK. They got this new Batman 160 by Natalie Sanders sitting on a something. And we got Action Comics here by Will Jack, and they also got the sales going. And Fantastic Four issue number 1, cover done by Gabriel Delato. Use the code SNMC to get 10% discount on all your orders. All right, now with that said, we got one people in the live. Hello, guy. Oh, she. Hello. Could be my wife watching all the way in Korea. Hello, if that is you. And say something in the live chat if that is you, Hyun. All right. So let's go with. I'm gonna do this. I am gonna go with share a whole entire screen here, and gonna go with FOC. All right, so brought to you by Cover Price. I am a seasonal member. I've signed up for, so anything I said is not being sponsored. No, I'm getting paid by Cover Price. That'll be good though. Here's a full FOC list. The week that is coming out on full list for the week of June 2nd, right? So let's see. We got open order for Absolute Wonder Woman issue number 9. So it is the first appearance of Absolute Universe Amazon. All right, I don't know anybody reading it, but I heard only good things about the Absolute title. But I don't know about the Manhunter or the Flash. Beneath the Tree Where Nobody Sees, Rite of Spring. It's a sequel to the Eisner and animated horror. Okay. I don't know if anybody reading this, but I heard some good stuff about this. Here, Captain America number 1. This is the main cover. Ongoing series, possible introduction of all new Howling Commandos. All right. We got Department of Truth 31. Very surprised. But Justinian 4, still writing a great horror books. And we got Fantastic Four First Steps here by Phil Noto, homage to their Fantastic Four issue number 1. Here is Godzilla Destroys the Marvel Universe. It's a 5-part miniseries against the Marvel Universe. Wonder who's going to win on this one. Cover done by Mark Brooks. We got here Godzilla. Here's a cute one here. Illuminati number 1. I think this is the album cover homage to, I forgot who it was, DMX or MDX, something like that, by Bill Sienkiewicz. Art by Bill Sienkiewicz. All right, there we go. Here is Barbarella, homage to Akira 1 homage cover. Barbarella, all right. Here's another one, Beneath the Tree, When Nobody Sees, Rite of Spring, issue number 1 by Scotty Young. And here is a design variant, a rival variant of Captain America number 1. Flash number 22, cover C by Yasmin Putri. Here we go again. He's squatting down ready for him to run again. I like this one here. Christopher variant. Christopher Tyler variant. It is the action figure variant by, yeah, John Tyler Christopher. Not bad, not bad. Here is New History of DC Universe #1, covered done by Dan Mora, and also this one is by Archer. Okay. We got Savage Sword of Conan #9, cover C, covered down by Neil Adams. So I'm sure that this has to be one of the panels or one of the art that he has done. Liking it, liking it. Pretty good. Right here is Ultimate Wolverine #7 by Lucio Parello. And here's that all new Venom 100 Mary Jane cover by Fan Yang. Here is one of 15 of that Barbarella. It is what, 1 of 15? Is it a what is it? Is it a foil? Is not? Who knows? Um, by Dynamite, they do 1 of 15. They do foil 1 of 20 is a virgin cover, but I don't know what the hell this one is. But still a great homage cover. Not the best that I've seen, but it's all right. Here is Biker Mice for Mars, issue #1 with 100, covered up by Simon Beasley. Okay, better than Frank Miller cover art. So that's it. Here's 1 of 200 incentive by Pablo Villalobo. Not feeling it. 1 of 100, The Virgin. Okay, by Mark Brooks. Here's Hello Darkness. 1 of 20, Dan Panosian. Okay, not feeling it. High Street, issue #7, 1 of 20, cereal box cover homage. Here's Mark Spears #2, 1 of 20. Um, this is the third printing. All right. Okay. Miles Morales #33, 1 of 25, covered by Tariq Clark. Second printing, first appearance, Keisha Kwan as Powerlift. Okay. Universal Monsters. Hello there, Ron. Ron? Ron? Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay. I'm sorry. I thought your mic was off. I'm just going through FOC right now.
Ah,
Universal Monster, The Mummy #4, covered down by Maria Wolf. 1 of 75 incentive variant. Not so great. X-Men Hellfire Virgil or Vigil.
Vigil.
Vigil. Okay. By Rose Besh. Rose Besh, I haven't seen her do many art lately, but it's okay. It's all right. I wouldn't pay $50 or even $35 for this cover, but you never know. Maybe Yvonne might be all over this one here. We got here the Absolute Universe later printings by Mark Spears. All right. Lost Fantasy #1, Final Fantasy VII, homage cover by Alex Diotto. Here's a Mark Spears #2, third printing, cover done by Mike Spears. Miles Morales #33, second printing. Okay, I think we went through this last week, but not really excited about any of it,
Mm,
except this Neil Adam cover of Savage Sword. Rest in peace, Neil Adam. And along with this Godzilla action figure. I hope this. I was kind of hoping that this was like a Godzilla like movie poster homage, but it's not. So he has to do his little action figure here. And that's pretty much it for FOC. And let's see what's going on in the new releases.
mm.
It's coming out this Wednesday and June 4th. Let's go. No, I don't want. The hell is this?
Looks like you got to sign in.
No. All right. Whatever. Fuck. I thought I was already signed in. What the hell? Oh, there we are.
There you go. Yeah.
I thought I was already signed in. I guess I'm not. I just got signed out. All right, let's do this one more time. June 4th on the new releases. Here we go. We got Spawn, not Spawn, Venom number, all new Venom number 7. Who we got? We got the spoil. We got the spoiler. It seems like somebody's getting married. Um, Spoiler release. We got what else we got here? Oh, look, Jolie Jones is doing Amazing Spider-Man issue number 5.
Who?
Jolie Jones,
Joel Jones.
Joelle Jones. I'm sorry, I'm Jolie Jones.
That is a cool cover, I gotta
Not
admit.
bad.
It's neat.
It's something different, yeah.
Yeah, kind
I
of
like the back,
reminiscent
I like the
of
background on this with the stars and the moon.
yeah, kind
Um,
of reminiscent of the Gwen Stacy thing. He's trying to save her.
yeah, yeah, I didn't see that coming. Oh, good call out, Ron.
I like Joelle Jones. Big fan of hers.
What we got here? Pre-release on no. What is this? Pepe Larraz. We got Brian Brown. Brian Brown does some really cool work here. Let me see. Oh, what happened in this one here? It's okay.
It's kind of cool, actually. I like it.
Yeah, no, Brian Brown. He does a really good cover. I love his covers on Venom that he had done for some store variants.
So, who is the bad guy here? Is that Crossbones?
I think that's who he is.
Hmm.
That's all I can think of.
Hmm.
There's a new character that we probably missed throughout the FOC in the past couple. Um, and here's Pepe Larraz. I like Pepe Larraz cover. He does some okay. And let's see how that cover does. Oh, he's what, fighting with the Hobgoblin.
It's kind of cool how they break into the title there.
Yeah. Remember when they did the Thor? What was that? 266 was it?
Hmm.
Or was it 266? Or am I thinking something else? Anyway, the first Donkey Thor. Remember when he
Thor.
he kind of breaks that Thor like the tree dressing? But this is not a bad cover. Not bad, not bad. How was your week?
What did I do this week?
Must be very eventful for you to forget or think about things.
The schools were graduating, so my daughter was helping out, but I didn't do much. I just worked.
Yeah, it's slowly the traffic is being picked. I mean, it's traffic is there throughout the whole thing. I mean, I'm not looking forward to be driving through Lake Seattle and stuff during this time of the year, especially during summer. And it's
Mm.
just gets so backed up.
You know what we noticed was with with kids finishing school, whether it's college or high school, Target was fresh out of gift cards.
Wow.
I've never seen that before. They were just sold out.
Int-
They had some other ones like Happy Mother's Day or Feliz Navidad. Nothing appropriate for college or high school graduates, but Target had no gift cards. I've never
Interesting.
seen that before.
Well, did you hear about that guy that he's been doing this a lot? So what he's been doing is he's been stealing a lot of the gift cards, and what he will do is he will somehow manipulate the barcode so that when people scan it or to activate it, it goes into his own site. So I think he made over $500,000. It could be more.
And
And
they
what he
could,
does is after he does that, puts it back. So he steals it and he turns it back and steal other gift card. I mean, fortunately he got caught, but he found a way around to scam through people buying gift
wow,
cards. Yeah,
wow, that's amazing.
yeah, and he's a Chinese guy, so
You know what? So I guess you could do that. So if you got a number and you changed a couple of the numbers and
hmm
you enter it at some site, you could probably get some money. I didn't think of that.
yeah. So what he was doing is he would scratch up that scratch and sniff kind of thing, that foil that thing, and he will get that code. So
Yeah.
he would scan the barcode, and he
Hmm.
would I don't know what he does. I think he changed the code, or and he put a whole new scratch things over it. So
Okay.
when they're there to scan it, it won't go through the company. It will go through his site that he made, so he will get all the information. So yeah, it's brilliant idea, but I mean,
Brilliant but stupid. He
it's
got caught.
stupid in a way because he got caught, because you got to go back and put the card, the gift cards back in his rightful area, and it's if for me it would be nerve wracking to steal one or two of them by going back and putting it back. It's
Hmm.
just, it's just I don't know. We got right here Thor, Immortal Thor number 24, cover done by yes himself, Alex Ross. Uh, so even though Immortal can die, so have you? Oh shoot, have you? Have you read an article that Chris Hemsworth is done being Thor? So I think
Hmm.
Doomsday. What was that? Not Secret War, but that the MCU movie Doom's Academy. Well, not Doom's Academy, but anyway, that Doom when Robert Downey Jr. is going to be portraying as Doom. That might be his last role as Thor. So I think they probably will be killing him off, or something's going to happen. But he's saying goodbye. I think he did it on his own social media. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, here is Imperial issue number 1, covered down by Adi Granov. Interesting. Interesting. It's like a World War Hawk with the Hawaiian chief type of feel to it. All right, I'm not impressed. Uh,
It's expensive though. $76.
yeah, because that was the 1/100 Virgin variant, but it's
Ugh.
760. It's like seven. It's like close to $8 just
You
for.
gotta really be a Hulk fan to get that.
Yeah, I mean there is some following when it comes to Adi Granov. Hello, Yvonne. Hello, Joe. How you guys doing?
Hey,
Pretty good. How you doing?
Good, good. Let me just stop here so we have the infinity. Good morning, Joe. By the way,
Good
how?
morning. It's early.
Yes, it's early. I was done with everything. I watered my yard,
Yep.
backyard. I had my lunch.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, and I was watching this called The Collectibles by Golden something. It's a Netflix special, I guess. I
Okay.
was watching that, and all night I stayed up to 2 in the morning watching some animated series about kid prodigy of. It's a prodigy for golf, so he
Oh.
doesn't know anything about golf, and he picks
Yeah.
up the club and he's like swinging it, and he's killing it, and I forgot what the title goes. It's called Something Rising. I
Okay.
watched from season 1 all the way to season 2 in
Yeah.
one. So that was fun. Um, check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Hey, what's up, Dan? SPL, all the way from Canada. So let's see Bruce Timm new cover for Happy Comics. No, I have not. Unfortunately, um, I, I keep telling myself I'm stop buying comics, but I got a haul coming up soon. I got a handful of comic book that I bought, and here's the new pickup. Remember this cover
Yeah.
that we talked about? I read it. The interior art is okay, but I posted on my Instagram because there's a the bubbles, and instead of putting like asterisks and characters for them swearing, they cross it out, and I thought that was like so lazy of them. I mean, why did they cross it out? Was it like an editorial mistake? But somebody go no because they're swearing. Like I thought putting like at sign, sharp sign, asterisk sign. I thought those was a sign of a person who swears, but no,
Yeah.
they physically scratched out what it was said.
Huh.
Yeah, and found out that Winter Soldier, spoiler alert, is in love with Black Widow, Natasha.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's the only thing that I got from that reading that issue. Okay, now let's go through this again. Bum, 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 bum. All right, so we got, where were we? Imperial, thank you. We got Peach Momoko on Imperial issue number 1, and let's see what this looks like. Mm, mm, nope.
She's done better.
Yeah, and some of the things I feel like it's a lot of the artists, even with Adi Granov, I mean, it's such a lazy cover. It's like he's like doing that Captain Morgan stand. What else we got here? There's nothing. Let me know if you see something that kind of catches your eyes. We got Predator versus Spider-Man. Here's a Ryan Brown cover once again. Like I said, I like what Ryan Brown does. I think he has done this before, but it's all right. I don't see Spider-Man winning in this battle though. Here's the John Myers, Gwen Stacy, Spider Gwen. Here's a Razo and Spider Star Wars. Storm. Anything on Storm? Nope. We got Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion. Nope. Here's an homage. Tyler Kirkham, 616, limited to 100. No, thank you. Here is the Daniel Warren Johnson second printing. No, thank you. The Neil Francis Liu Ultimate Special issue number 6. Oh, somebody got shot in the head. This is what? Is this Nova? Or is this Captain Marvel?
Hmm.
This is from Ultimate Wolverine. Interesting. Not a bad cover. Here's a 1 out of 25 by the same artist. Incentive variant. It's okay. Not the best. We got X-Men, Puppeteer Lee, Green Lantern. Here's DC. Clayton Crane. Did we go through this last time? I thought I saw this.
I don't remember.
Clayton Crane. Look at that. No. Not feeling it on that one. Here's the facsimile for Action Comics, issue number 775. Batman, Birds of Prey, George Perez. That's okay. Jack Hughes. Souza Micah when it comes to DC Prime. So I'm assuming this has to be Holly and Poison Ivy. Not bad. I really don't like this. Okay, let's go through this quickly here. Dun, dun, dun. Joshua Sway for Poison Ivy. Here's one for Trent Ewan. I think this is the one that we talked about on our last FOC. That's a great cover. There's nothing that really pops out and said, "Oh, I want to get this," you know. And Scorched by Raymond Gay. Vandals. Okay. Walking Dead. Venture Times. No. Star Trek. Where is this? Ninja Turtles and Naruto? Really? Oh, God. I'm sorry. Heat Seeker, that is still ongoing. Oh, wow. Look at that. It's issue number 1 again. Oh, exposed. She's been exposed, guys. Heat Seeker is exposed. Everybody know who she is. Runscape. Here is Terminators. No, I figured being Terminator, they would have more better cover than what they have here, you know? Lucio Perillo with the Vampirella, Popskill. Oh, look at that. Jack. This is a good cover. Almost like the Vampirella 672, that New York Comic Con. I don't know. I might just have to get this one. It's a great cover. What we got here? Scotty Young, Phoenix Fan Fusion. Okay, once again here, no. And Zenoscope. We got any J. Scott Campbell? Oh, here it is. J. Scott Campbell 20th anniversary. I think this is a cover that he has done decades ago. So I think they're just revisiting it again. Yeah. Feels very 90s or 80s the way he draws this.
Yeah.
Okay. What else we got here? Monsters. God, can we have enough monsters already? I mean, so much influencers are freaking pumping that shit up. And I heard it was a decent story, but nobody's really talking about the story. But they only talk about how much it goes for, how much it sells for. You know. And that is it for the new comic book day, new releases. What I said, what is this? What do you say? Weapon S Squall said, thanks, Dan, for mentioning it. I ordered a copy. Grabbed a copy myself. Nice. All right. Hey, our chat is freaking pumping, isn't it, today? Like, we won't get that kind of this much freaking people chat within like hour into our stream, but anyway, welcome, Weapon S Squall.
Why don't you pull up the cover?
Which cover? Oh,
the Bruce Timm.
Bruce Timm. Hold on. Sad Lemon. Sad Lemon Comics.
That's right.
Should come down.
Is it an exclusive? Bruce Timm. Hold on. Which one is it? Is it the Vampirella?
Let me see. Red Sonia.
Oh, is it a Red Sonia? All right, so I'm going to show you guys what I'm seeing here. So here it is. Sad Lemon Comics. We got the Dynamite. And we got... I don't see any Bruce Timm here. Let me know if you see it and I might miss it.
He said Happy Comics.
Oh, Happy Comics.
Mhm.
Okay, Happy. Where's Happy Comics? Here we are. Is this it? No. Oh, here it is. This is the metal. Bruce Timm, Red Sonja Noir. Number 1. Is that the only one? Yep, that's the only one. So this is it, guys. It's 100. Wow, fuck. $100 for 60 copies of this Red Sonja Noir Bruce Timm metal variant, limited to 60. In this metal version of Red Sonja Noir Timm variant, the metal is limited to just 60 copy. Get it where you can. The pre-sale is for what? June of 25th of this year. It is 1 or 2. So there's going to be about 2 week delay for metal copy versus a regular copy. So I'm assuming the regular copies all have been sold out, and this is the only they only have the metal. Oh, here it is. $25 for a regular copy of this. 600 copies. So it's not sold out. It's okay. Honestly speaking, I am not a big fan of Bruce Timm. So and I know he did a really great job in the Batman Avengers series, even the Superman Avengers. That's all Bruce Timm. But to me, it's just too animated for me when it comes to my comic. And there is some few. I mean, Scotty Young could be very animated as well, but what I mean by animated is a very very cartoonish. But that's why I don't collect too much of Scotty Young nor Bruce Timm. It's not on my forte. When it comes to my cover, but there's some really expensive Bruce Timm covers out there that is his earlier. I think was like early 2000s. I think he did some for what Batgirls. And Catwoman, I think, and some other independent publishing one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But this is when you say collect what you like, And here's another book that picked up is this Dynamite Jenny Frison. This is issue number 2. So this one here, I read it. I read it and I'm thinking, okay, it's not the most brilliant literature, but I found out that they were talking about the mother of all vampires, right? Because they're in a world of utopia where vampire no longer exists or the vampire can't live there. But there's this one FedEx driver that he's somewhat half human, half vampire. Um, and what he does is he rapes this girlfriend, and he was talking about, and he can't remember why. And they're talking about the mother of all vampire coming back to take over again. And I found out that the mother of all vampire is her name is Lilith. And in here they don't mention that. So I'm assuming this is going to be a new character that is older than Lilith, or I have no idea yet. But it seems like Lilith's first appearance was in the Vampirella magazine issue number 19. So that is the first appearance of Lilith. Happens to be the mother of Vampirella, and later to find out that she is the mother of all like vampires. So there we go. There's a little bits and nipping bits of information about Vampirellas. All right. Today, I just wanted to just talk about things and as we go with the flow. But and Yvonne sent us this video, and she was on, and she was like, she didn't know how to process it. It's our old good friend Sticky Goose. He's talked about how influencers are ruining the comic what was that? He's ruining the comic industry. Is that what he said?
He ruined comic collecting.
Yeah, comic collecting. He said influencer ruined comic book collecting. All right, so it's a clickbait for him and for everyone because he's saying that, oh, how influencers ruin my comic collecting.
Yeah.
But he's saying that how influencers are ruining the comic collecting is his own first personal intake of how he got raped during the COVID by buying stupid books at a high price because Comic Tom, Jet Min, and all other people that he's been following or has been influenced by has somewhat put him in that position to be buying all these books, which is like everybody's our victim of influencers. Are we at one point or another in our collecting um, days, in the early days? Are we not?
Wait, what's your question, David? What are you asking?
Okay, whatever porn you guys were watching, even with Joe, Yvonne, like get in, get in here. You guys was watching. Are you guys watching the same thing?
No, we got
No,
our,
we're trying.
Okay,
our
if it's
dog.
personal,
Yeah,
then
we have a camera set up in there because of our dog. So we got to watch her, and she keeps crying and
Yeah,
whining and stuff like that. So
we're trying to get her used to us not being home for a while, or because we're having to.
and it's raining here and storming, so she's having like a bad day.
And I'm watching Florence Pugh.
Yeah.
So, David, say again your question.
no. I influence. Well, the thing is that it's about influencers, right? Is it good for the collect? Is it good for the hobby or not? And Yvonne, Hazel Dan has sent us this video on Sticky Goose talk about how influencers ruin comic book collecting, but it's just his own personal what experience that he went through because he was following this top influencers like Comic Tom, Gentman, whoever else that he's been following got influenced to buy stupid books at such a high price during the COVID time, and I think he still has that bad taste in his mouth, and he made this video. But I'm just saying is we are all victim of being influenced one or twice during our collective times. Even till now, I might be influenced on one cover that people might be talked about, but why go there bashing? Oh, I don't know. So my question to you is,
Well, he's not bashing.
I don't think that
He's not bashing anybody or anything, and it's not even like from his personal experience. It's just about, in general, about how he thinks that like influencers and stuff like that are manipulating the market and causing this FOMO and kind of inducing people into like this hysteria where they're overpaying for stuff, buying for stuff, and throwing their money in the garbage instead of buying what they love and what they like and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's kind of about that, which I think we've all done that, but I think more damage is done by the people that do it. Like, I mean, if we're gonna keep going out there and paying these prices for every little variant that comes out and every little alternate thing that comes out and overpaying by 20, 30 times the market price for that stuff, then I mean, that's our fault,
right?
That's on us. Like we can stop it. I would just quit buying stuff. Like quit buying stuff because you think it's going to be worth 50% more in a year, or because you think it's worth, it's going to double next week. And if I don't get it now, I'll never get it. Just quit being afraid. Quit being scared about missing out on stuff and enjoy collecting and buy what you like, man. Don't.
Well, and
don't
I think
that,
it tends to be like the newer collectors that are more influenced, I think, because maybe they don't know what they like, or I don't know. And to an extent, like I think we all can kind of be influenced. Like you see a new cover that you haven't seen, or a new artist. Like I don't know.
Well, I'm glad that you said that it's a new collectors that might be influencers is driving this market, because I give you one example. I think there is this one TikTok that is going viral. It's about chocolate. It's not just any chocolate. It's a Dubai chocolate.
Huh.
There's kids. There's this young people buying this and eating this Dubai chocolate, and they're giving their own opinion how good this is. And in my store, we have a Dubai chocolate that we're selling. It's a one box, and each packet contains about 25 small little squares of this Dubai chocolate, and it's expensive. It's not cheap. It's $10, but guess what? It's not the older people our age that is buying this. It's the kids that comes with their parents. They're elementary, middle school kids that is asking of this Dubai chocolate, and they bring their mom and they want their parents to buy this chocolate so they can try for themselves. So I think that's a good example, knowing that this influencers on TikTok is who's doing this, that is going viral right now. It has influenced such a young, generation for them to try new things as well too. So uh, I think when it comes to influencers, I think we are considered as influenced as well. No, regardless of how many views that we get during every live view or our own personal, channels, even though we might get 5 or 6, but if we influence one person to do certain things that we feel that is right, then we're influencers. So now with that said, is influencers considered good or bad?
Either way, I mean, if
I know
people,
we talked about this subject, but I
yeah,
just want to revisit again, just in case. This
okay,
new
I think it can go both ways. Like it's you can manipulate people and influence them to buy your stuff and then make money off of gullible people and people that don't know any better. You can do that, and I don't think that's good. And unless you're selling them something that's good and they like it and it turns out well for them, then you did, I mean, then that's fine. But if you're tricking people and convincing people and scaring people into buying garbage that's going to lose money in a month, I don't think that's good. And I think, but it's up to us to not do that. Like it's up to us to educate ourselves and and sometimes we just have to learn the hard way. We've wasted money before and done stuff. I think everybody's screwed up at some point or another with collecting anything. Whether you collect comic books or statues or cards or anything. Like at some point, everybody's done some goofy stuff because they had FOMO or they just didn't know any better, or they just liked something so much they were willing to like pay a dumb price for it. And then they end up losing a couple of $100 or something. And I think we've done that. I think everybody's kind of done stuff like that, but it's not the influencer or the person selling the stuff's job to lead you in, like it's not their job to like kind of moral police or do it like that's it's the consumer and the buyer's job to be educated about what they're spending their money on. It's their money. They're the ones that work for it, and they can do whatever they want to with it. But I do think I don't think it's good to trick people into buying stuff that's not any good. I don't. No, I don't think that's okay, but it is what it is.
Well, here's the devil's advocate part of it. I'm being a devil's advocate. It's like how would they know if it's good or bad? I mean, influencers. Okay, let's put it in a different way. Is that all right? There's sports betting, right?
Right.
There's tons and tons of channels out there that saying that they have a great record, like 65% of their pick is going to be a winner. But even then, they don't know because they only can speculate of the players and the team that is matched up. I think it goes really. I think that goes the same as when it comes to influencers as well, who's pumping these up. I think last week I bitched about this Battle Beast, the mystery pack, like how they're hyping it up to make it more than what it is, But like to me, it's like it's not like they are hyping things up that is rubbish. We only can find out that it's a rubbish after aftermath of whatever happens. But
okay, so basically, any new book you buy is going to be a gamble then.
But that's true of anything.
That's true of anything, yeah. But like with something that's unproven, like buying an Amazing Fantasy 15 is probably not a gamble. Buying Action Comics #1, buying that, if you can afford that stuff, buying that stuff, I think it's proven over time what its value is and how it holds up.
Yeah, I mean, because it's proved there's a track record that that book's not going to be a $5,000 book in a 5.0 in time.
It'll probably never be that. Yeah, unless everything kaput. If everything goes kaput, then it might. But they all might go to garbage. Every book we have might be worth, a couple $100 one day if the economy just crashes and the comic book market crashes and everybody becomes broke and we lose then it might. But Those are extreme circumstances. But over time, there's certain books that just prove over time, over and over and over again, what their true value is. But with new books, like a new variant, now they got the Battle Beast thing, and you don't know what that's going to be worth in 5 years. You don't know what it was worth 5 years ago because it just, whatever this new thing is, it just came out. So you have no idea. You're gambling on it. You have no idea what it's worth.
No, but I think as a collector's mind on point is like, I think we are all gambler in one way or another. We might not be an impulsive gambler, that we might not be gambling every day, but we do gamble in a way. I mean, for you guys, Hazel Dan, you guys would buy pack of one piece card to gamble to hoping that pull that animated card. Which congratulations on the 10 Gym-Man 10 that you got on that grade. So I saw that on a post, and yeah, it's a gold. But let me solo you guys out. There we go. That's a beauty.
Yeah,
that's the one that you guys pulled from a pack, right?
No, we actually bought that one.
We did pull a manga from the
okay.
We pulled the
that's a different one.
The Rayleigh manga, Silver's Rayleigh manga from a pack. So
yeah. I think that's the one. I think that's from that OP11. I think.
This is from PRBO1.
Yeah, PRBO1. That's the one that I've been trying to pull, and haven't got no luck yet. And the one that I send you guys, you guys get a case hit on that.
Yeah, we got this one.
We did open PRB11.
Yeah, we've actually opened up 4 boxes of OP11.
OP11, yeah, sorry.
So it's about $400 and $500.
Ooh.
Yeah, but we got
some good cards.
We got about $750 worth out of it. So it's, I got this one. It's about a $90 card right now.
Nice.
We got this.
Do you guys share this? Do you guys share this with Richard? Do you guys send him pictures hey, look what we got?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, some of our hits.
This one's like $200. That's worth about 70. So we got some good cards. Sometimes we don't, man. We've spent a couple of $100 on boxes and we didn't get crap. We
got how long is a hit in our EBO2?
Yeah. So I mean, sometimes you just. Like you said, it's gambling. Even this stuff's gambling. Like every time you buy a box, you're gambling, and sometimes we get lucky, and sometimes we don't. We will double our money sometimes, and sometimes we'll lose $70 or $50 or something.
Yeah, I mean, but I think when it comes to comic book, it shouldn't. They're trying to do that same thing with this Battle Beast or the mystery pack or whatnot, Marvel whatever pack or things like that. It's just trying to have that same mentality as the card to able to pull that $1,000 comic book out of a $20 pack. Even with the Battle Beast, it's like a $3.99 pack, but you were able to pull this one-of-the-one sketch or the Invincible issue number 1 of first printing or that Invincible number 19, the first appearance of Battle Beast. I get the whole hype in it, but
yeah. So there's a book in there they're chasing that's like a 1 out of 1.
Yeah, there's a couple of
yeah. I mean, you're not gonna get it. Don't buy it because you think you're not gonna get that.
But the thing is,
it's the same thing with your One Piece. Why are you buying it? Because you might never get that. That silver, that gold.
Yeah, it's like a $4,000 card. It's the gold Luffy. The special gold Luffy, and
like 5,000.
I don't have the chances of pulling that are slim and none, but we're still getting our value out of it because the other
God pack, or even that with a God
pack, we'll never hit that. We know that, it's just
we might,
we might, but we don't buy it thinking we're gonna get that, and we wouldn't buy these boxes like that if we weren't getting the value out of it, but we're happy to get the value out of it.
That's not true because we don't always get the
value.
We
don't always get the value, but I would say we.
But we know going into it, I think that's the difference. Yeah. It's going into it, it's a gamble.
Yeah,
I'm prepared to make that gamble because I have fun opening.
But you still have a lot better chances of getting cards that are worth its value than you are getting a 1 of 1.
Yeah, no, I understand. But do you feel that these new collectors Okay, I'm going back to influencers. That influencers are hyping this up. Like, hey, we got, there's a new Battle Beast mystery pack is going on, and they're hyping it up because the chances are getting the 101 sketch or
Yeah.
even the first print Invincible one or that issue number 19. They're hyping things up and they're saying, hey, look, somebody pulled this, So do you feel when you're watching this? I just want you guys to go back like 10 years from now, and all these gimmicky things are popping up. Would you be influenced, or would you be? I wouldn't say dumb. I would say, would you be influenced to buy this pack in your earlier time in your collection if the influencer saying have this? Would you have gotten it? Would you be into it? And second question is, do you feel that this new collector might be influenced that because for you know what you're getting into when you're buying those boxes, right? You guys are knowing that you might lose a full $500 if nothing was pulled. But do you feel like if the new collectors have the same mentality going into this this hobby?
That's a good question. I don't know. They should. And if you don't need to be spending $500. How much is the package? How much is it?
Well, there's two. There's one for the retailers, which was about what, $4.99 or $6.99. So it's a retail price. Yeah, it's just a retail. It's just one comic book, from my understanding. And there's this what they had that eBay was only available on eBay through an online store, which I think he's called the Big Clutch or Big something.
Okay.
I don't know, him and I guess what's his name, Kirkman has done. You can get a certain variance right now selling for over $200, but at the same time you can pull that one-on-one. I don't know what the deal because I didn't really pay attention because it's not my forte. But there's two. There's one for retail, and there was that eBay exclusive pack.
And how much is that?
For eBay exclusive pack, from what they were selling, I think was for about, I don't know. Honestly, they talked about the aftermarket, which it was selling about for $200 to $300 a pack.
Okay. No, I wouldn't blind buy anything for.
Yeah, no, I don't think any of us in this panel member would buy things like that. But
I don't know how many are. Like, surely, I hope the people that are doing that know what they're getting into.
What are you guaranteed on that?
Yeah, what are you guaranteed? Like, what if you don't? If you don't get the one out of one,
it's just like any other mystery box.
Are you getting $5 a book?
Well, here's the thing: on the retail, you get a chance to pull that first print Invincible one.
Yeah, I don't care about the chances. I want to know what the value is in each pack outside of what you don't get that.
What is the value of these packs outside of the big?
Well, some people are buying it for like $30 on a retail and $300. You know what? It's a great thing because you know what? Give me a time so I can. I'm just going to go to eBay and kind of see, so we can kind of get an idea. Battle Beast.
It's like usually with like mystery boxes, it tells you you're guaranteed this amount of value.
Right. Like if you're paying $600 for a special pack, if the value in it's $500 to $600, why not? But if you're getting like $2 or $3 books or $5 books, or you might get $1,000 book at a one-on-one chance, like, no, I would never do that.
No, I don't think any of us, and like I said, I don't think any of us in this panel member would do it.
Yeah, I don't think anybody should either. I think that's a bad gamble.
Well, here it is, guys. Here. Can you see it?
Oh, my gosh.
All right, so 101 Mike Troy, original art, Battle Beast, is asking for $1,800. This is the asking price. Here's one, 5 hour left. I believe, okay, here it is. This is the eBay exclusive, right?
Yeah.
That is on auction for $275. Still got 5.5 hours left. And here, this is the retail, right?
Yeah.
It's selling for $19.99, so $20. Right. Okay. So there's 3 bags. So there's about $7. So it's almost pretty much going as like retail right now. A lot of 3-bag asking 25 or best offer. Here's $7.49. I don't know what the fuck that is. Battle Claw. So that's pretty much it when it comes to that battle. And here's what it's sold for. Okay, that's what he's asking. Here's what it's sold for. Bag of three lot, 3-bag lot for $20, and $7.49, right?
Mm-hmm.
$20, $7.49. Battle Beast. Here's this freaking bee taking a dump on his hive, asking for $310, right? 235, 205, 230, 205. So this guy Beehive Comic, I'm assuming that he bought many of this. I wonder if this is the actual. I wonder if this is an actual retailer that's actually doing this. Here it is. Mystery Paco item. What the fuck is this? Paco item. Anyway, somebody paid $26 for it. $8.
You know what, David? Out of all of us, you seem to be like the only one who would have bought one of these.
Yeah, I would have bought it if it was like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Here's that, 245. So look, I mean.
So
Okay.
the way I see it, I would never buy a blind bag thing unless there was something in there that I knew for sure I'd be willing to have in my collection. So perfect example was like the Harley Quinn ones. I always knew there was the black bag. Yeah. So I was okay buying those. But this stuff I don't really care about.
Yeah, because you don't care about the battle beats, you know, the characters, or the storyline, or the title.
Even if you do, so that one book that's a 1 out of 1, is it just an original sketch?
Yes.
Okay, it's on original sketch on, I'm assuming, like some kind of like 1 out of 25.
Yeah, on a blind, right? On a blank sketch cover.
So how many? So who's the artist?
What do you mean? Who's the artist?
Who's the artist that did this sketch?
Oh, hold on. For the one that is listed on eBay right now is Mike Choi.
Mike Choi. So how much do Mike Choi blank variant sketches go for? Like if you were to go to a Comic-Con, meet this guy and say, hey, will you draw Battle Beast on this 1 out of 25 blank variant for me? And he draws that for you. How much is that book worth? How much are his sketches worth?
Well, we'll find out, right?
Yeah, let's see. And that you can kind of look at it that way. Like if you want one of his sketches bad enough, just buy one of his sketches.
Here it is. Mike Choi sketch. 9.6, 250.
$250.
So
basically, you're getting a Mike Choi sketch that's worth $250, and you're paying $700 at a gamble at getting 1 out of 1.
Yeah, and here's one for 400, 200, 200.
Yeah, so
100.
His sketches aren't worth $1,700. Why is that book worth $1,700?
Because you can pull it off a pack.
That's stupid.
Yeah, I know it's stupid. We all know it's stupid.
You
look, Joe, you, me, and Ron here, we know that it's a stupid gimmick thing. Somebody is asking $1,700.
Yeah, man.
But his original sketch is asking average about what, 9.6 to 9.4. It's like $100 to $200.
So I think that's the thing there. I think anybody that knows what they're doing probably. I would like to think that
it's all about hype. They hyped it up.
Yeah. I would like to think that most collectors aren't doing it. I would like to think that. Oh man, I mean, when you look at those odds and when you look at what his value of his book, if his sketches are worth $3,000, then whatever.
But that's just one of the handful of artists that has done original art for this blind bag for eBay.
Yeah. So it's just kind of like, man, no, dude. You know, I mean, like, I might pay $600 at a shot at getting a Jim Lee sketch.
Yeah.
They're worth $10,000, $8,000, $7,000 and stuff like that. you know?
Yeah, I can understand if you got like legendary people like Todd McFarlane to do a
Yeah.
sketch, or Jim Lee to do a sketch,
Yeah.
or who's there? Maybe Tyler Kirkham, or
Yeah.
actually he did art before, so his original art of
Yeah.
this that'll be. I can kind of understand asking $1,500 to 3 to 4 thousand on those people, but I mean Mike Choi. I mean he's a good artist. I love his. He did good art, but
most comic book artists, and nothing about Choi or anything like that. Like he's a great artist, whatever. But like, there's great artists who have those sketch books that are original sketches, and they're all worth around $250 to $350 or $150 for some of them. Like they're not. Most artists don't have $1,700 sketches on books like that, on blank books. Most of them aren't. I can. Yeah, that's too much, man.
So,
yeah.
You know what, David? There's a Battle Beast cover that's 1 in 2000.
Yeah.
By Ryan Otley. What do you think of that cover? Would you buy that? Would you buy that Ryan Otley variant?
Let me see. I have to look at it.
It's 1 in 2000. Battle Beast. Ryan Otley.
It's Ryan Otley Battle Beast?
Battle Beast, yeah. If you were to look at that cover,
strapped.
If you were to look at that cover, would you buy that?
Oh, hell no. I wouldn't.
I mean, forget about the price for a second. Would you even buy that cover?
Honestly speaking, no, I would not.
Is it that one?
Wait, here, let me show you to you guys what I'm looking at. Show it to everyone here. Here we go. This is it.
That's the 1 in 2. Yeah, that's 1 in 2000.
Uh-huh.
1 in 2000 original art cover.
So he has not done one, but he did many.
I think that's kind of cool.
Here's one out of 1,000. Here's, but honestly, I would not buy this cover.
You know what, David? There are blank cover variants of Battle Beast.
Yeah.
I bet I could draw my own little doodle there, and I bet I could sell it for a lot of money. What do you think?
Yeah.
Well, first you gotta be you better have at least 10,000 viewer on your per video.
No, I'll just put on eBay and say original art.
Unknown artist.
Wait. So
unknown artist. That's it. Like the unknown comic.
Yeah. yeah.
So wait. So is this actual original art that he has done?
It can't be original sketch because it's 1 in 2000, which means there's a couple of them.
Well, because look at it. I mean, if you look at this first one at the top, and if you look at the bottom one here, the ears and things are all different. It's not the same. So I'm assuming.
I think you're right. I think you're right about that.
This one here, he has a little bit of a flat face, and this one here is not.
So he drew the same cover different times.
Yeah, different time.
Yeah, and it's just similar, but not the same.
He did that 2,000 times?
No.
This is 1 out of 2,000, right?
He probably did a handful.
He probably so 2 out of 2,000. Like say, if this was an actual a release, not an eBay, but let's say 1 or 2,000. So I'm assuming that this has to be within the retail, because for them to sell 2,000 of this, so I heard that probably about 50,000 of this retail has been made and distributed throughout the stores, online store. Let's just give it a 50,000 print run on this regular blind bag for retail. So what is how many books are we looking at on those original sketch? So 50,000 divided by 2,000. So we got what, 250?
You know what, David? I don't really care. I'm just saying to you, I can buy a blank cover for $4 and draw my own Battle Beast.
Yeah, I mean that's what the whole sketch cover is all about. Is
Yeah.
you have a freedom to do whatever you want to do, and if you want to doodle it on your own, you can. But
and sell it on eBay.
yeah, so I'm just we went kind of off track with this with Battle Beats because I just don't understand the whole idea of spending.
Because there's just no track.
Yeah. Oh, there. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, there's no track when it comes to this show, but it's just to a point where I just don't understand it. How you can be paying on a secondary market, paying because this eBay pack was on eBay live auctioning these bags as after they hyped it on the day that was released. It was
It's just a gimmick.
it was selling for average about 250 to 300 to begin with. Maybe I might be wrong. Maybe it was selling for 150 to 200. Now he has gone up to 300 because you might actually pull that one out of 2000 or what. I don't know what it is, but it's just crazy to think.
They just put some heat on the marketing. It's just like with stocks. They pump and dump. They over exaggerate what the stock is going to do, and then they dump it when people start buying it. Same thing with this. They're just hyping it up, getting the price up, and they're just profiting off the FOMO. That's all it really is. And
True.
we've learned our lesson on that now.
True.
We know better.
Like as for me, I do a little bit more research when it comes to not comic book. I mean, if you give me a great cover, I might be sucked into it. But it only cost me what $3.50 to $4 to, if you pre-order it, before the release. If you pre-order it on time, you get 30 to 40% off the cover price. But when it comes to sports card, I do research as in like prospect, like who the person. I take a gamble, and I posted one of the player that I gambled on. It seems like I'm not the only one that noticed that there's a potential of this one guy. His name is Jesus Made. If you in English, is Jesus Made. He's a shortstop. He's a shortstop, a prospect from Milwaukee Brewers. But his debut is forecasted in 2028. He's only 18 years old as we speak. He probably still got, so probably the time that he's 21, 22, he might actually make it to major league if he pans out what it is. But it only cost, instead of buying all these boxes, hoping to pull his, I decided to just buy one of his cards for $20.
Well, it's essentially a spec play. You're just
it's a spec play. Yeah. But I think this is also when it comes to spec play as well. When it comes to influencers, when they're saying that, this book is, this book is going to be talked about. This got to be, and people buy into it. And the one that everybody got involved in was this Battle Beast. The other one is the. Other one was the what was that? What's that title? Fuck, I can't remember. It's a DC character. He used to be Robin. Now he's something else. Nightwing. There was that one of the 25 variant. We talked about it, and you liked that cover as well. It has that moon in the back. Has that night? Him on the side view, and there's a bird flying in front of that cover. I don't know, but I'm just saying is that it's after this influential people within the comic industry talked about it, how this is cover doesn't it somehow is good, and now it's selling for $125 to $130 off the bat.
I just can't get myself interested in Battle Beasts. There just is no interest there. I could get myself interested in Punisher because I can relate to that, to the rage that character is feeling. His family was killed, so he's just beating up the bad guys. I mean, that's something I like to watch. Something like the story behind Nightwing, I don't empathize with it as much. I mean, his parents were killed. but he's not like Punisher, because Punisher he'll murder his victims, but Nightwing won't, right? So you just don't you see a big difference. There is much more rage with Frank Castle than with Dick Grayson. Now this character, Battle Beast, I don't know who that is, and I honestly don't care. You know?
Yeah.
I concur. I really don't care about Beast. I mean, he could, you know. Don't get me wrong. You Battle Beast collectors or lovers. I'm just saying. You know, he could be a real badass character. He could be another Punisher within the in the Invincible universe. But it's like, not really care. It's
It's hard for me to get to the Invincible universe. I have a hard time liking characters.
I haven't read any of the books, but I did watch the series that came out, the show.
Yes.
It's really good. It's really good.
Yeah, I think I watched the first episode, but even still, I mean, if I was a kid, I think I would have enjoyed it more. But now that I'm a grown ass man, it's hard to watch. It's hard to watch cartoons at my age, you know.
It's easy for me.
I can't say nothing because I stayed up all night watching the damn season of something rising about a kid with prodigy, golfer. He's only four. I think he's like 4 or 5 years old. But it's
David. A couple of weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago, we were going over a list of books, comic books you should read or comic books you should own. And one of the ones that popped up was this one, the Supergirl World of Tomorrow. So
you got it.
I borrowed it from the library. I didn't buy it. Okay. So I read it cover to cover, and you know what? It's a good story. It's a wonderful book, but would I want it in my collection? No. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But that's Tom King. He knows how to write a good novel.
I like Tom King stuff. I like his Mr. Miracle. I liked his Adam Strange. I think he did Batman too, didn't he?
Yes.
He is a good writer, but did I really like this and would I want this in my collection? No, not really. I would not spend money on that.
I remember when Tom King came out, when I was first starting collecting, he did Batman for Rebirth. I think he did the first 25 issues, but also at the same time he did called Sheriff of Babylon.
Yes, he did Sheriff of Babylon.
Yeah. And that was an option, but they were never seen a light of day of when that show ever going to happen. But but there's good books to read, and there's good covers to have in your collection if you're a cover collector. But it's just overall is how many people who's buying into this Battle Beast or even Nightwing, that 125 that came out last week, who's actually reading Nightwing for the story, So just to justify my meaning is that I have decided to, whichever books that I get, I am going to read it. Because people will ask me, "Oh, did you?" I get a lot of questions. Do you ever read that books that you have in your collection? Answer was no. I did it just for the cover, but now you know what enticed me to read each book that I pick up going forward is like this one here, Vampirella, and also even this. It's a great cover, but do I know that? Now I know. Now I do. Winter Soldier said, "I love you," to Natasha, and she kind of like said, like, "What did you say?" And he's like just brushed it off. Oh no, never mind. But he's definitely infatuated or in love with Black Widow, and Black Widow has seen no light on day that he has a feeling for her yet. So,
and I don't care.
No, but no, it's not for you to
care about that stuff.
Saying that like I think it's important to me going forward is that if I ever pick up a book, I tend to read it to see what the interior is all about. The story, like even with Batman the Hush, I picked up the 158. I read it; it was pretty good, but I didn't pick up the 159, which I went online to see, if there's any cheap copy. There's none, so I picked up a $2 like ash can, like there was a pre-order, not pre-order, but pre-party kind of thing. So I picked up that just to read it. So I don't know. This is as time goes by. I think I am not being as influenced as much as I was in my earlier year, and I get to kind of pick and choose what I want, regardless what the value of the book is going forward now.
Mhm.
As what Dan said, I mean, what Joe said earlier is, I know exactly what I'm getting into before I click on that button, say buy now or pre-ordering certain things. So if there's any new collectors out there watching this, please be advised that FOMO have got the best of us all the time throughout our years of collecting, but be a little bit more, I guess, resourceful when it comes to doing it. You know,
Yeah, I mean, if I come across a new collector and they ask me what should I do with buying comics, I would say, first of all, have a budget. Make sure you actually have money to spend, and then you're not going to go bankrupt. And just buy only one or two characters. Just don't buy everything, and find something that you like. Don't collect because someone else is collecting it.
yeah. So that's a good word of advice. Yeah. Well, one thing is don't ever overspend than what you can afford. You know, I think second is for me is before even you pick a character for read, do the research. I mean, if you're going to go with the I don't know, the trinity of DC is Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman, right? So pick and choose on that. And when it comes to Marvel, you got the Avengers, you got Spider-Man, you got all these characters. Just pick and choose that who resonates you and who you can relate to. Then that way, when you read it, you would understand the whole philosophical of a point of what they're going through. And that's what it got me through Spider-Man, is that when I knew about the character, read that comic book, kind of resonated because it's a whole new world. We don't know what's to expect, but he's just going through it, on a daily things and making mistakes and trying to make up for that mistake, and he's making more mistakes by doing it. So I don't know. It's just do the research, and know what you're getting into.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. Just like really don't buy anything you don't like, just hoping that it'll make you some money. Just buy stuff you like, and you kind of can't go wrong if you buy stuff that you like.
Yes, it can go wrong. It went wrong with me many times.
It can, but
thinking that that's what I wanted, but afterward is like,
yeah.
Yeah, it does take time to figure out what you really want, though. I mean,
yeah, I guess it's easy for me because I've been collecting since I've been collecting comic books for.
But even then, you still get
15,
stuff
20
every
years
now and then that just.
Yeah, I think I like something, then I kind of don't like it as much as I thought I did, but it doesn't happen a lot. I think you got to really just figure out what you like and stuff, and then and like you said, David, research. Do your research, look at what's out there, and. Is that her again?
Yeah. I mean, I guess this is for people who's new to collecting, who wants to build a collection, for I don't know what sake, because you're bored, you just have, money, or you just a comic book lover, or maybe some movie that you saw them, whatever the reason is for you to get into this hobby is, I say the main thing is just collect the keys. If you don't have a character, just save them money instead of fucking buying all these new book releases each week. Save that money and buy a key. Like if just buy a key, or buy a Spider-Man 252, the first black, or Secret War number 8. When he get when he get infected with symbiote. I don't know. Just buy a key and build on that instead of buying blind bags, hoping that you pull a fucking this.
And if you are going to buy, books for the purpose of selling them, if that's what you want to do, then make sure you're getting a good price for it. Make sure you're not overpaying for it yourself, and don't hold on to it hoping that it'll go up and then sell it for higher. Like, buy it low and sell it high. I mean, and we've done that too. Where we bought something and we found $300 books before for like paid $100 for them or $50 for them or something like that, and so it's just kind of like if you are going to buy for the purpose of flipping and stuff like that, just do your research on that too, and don't overpay for stuff.
Here's another thing: don't ever envy other old collectors. Here's the thing is, like Joe, you've been collecting for many decades, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing fantasy, and that grade that you have for fraction is what it's been selling now, right? But now in that grade, you're looking about what, 50 grand?
Yeah, it's
like no fucking person is able to afford that one thing for $50,000, but you got it when it was a few $1,000s at that time.
Yeah, we got it for a fraction. Yeah, we got it for quite a bit less than what it's worth now.
My advice, people can still build up to that, like.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying it's not impossible. What I'm saying is just off the go that nobody's gonna willing to pay. No, let's just say an average Joe cannot be spending $50,000 on a mid-grade on Amazing Fantasy just like that. I mean, people can.
You can, but it's not.
Yeah, but it's not logical. It's not realistic. Like I won't buy. I won't be paying $50,000 on Amazing Fantasy. But what I'm saying is, don't envy other person's collection, because you never know how they got it or when they got it, for how much they got it. And just for now, as like I said, aftermath that book is $50,000, but at the time you could have got it for like $900 to $1,000 in that mid grade, like 10-20 years ago. So don't ever envy. If new collectors, I'm sure there's none that's going to be watching this, but if there is, don't envy other people's collection, thinking that I want to, because when you start getting envious, you want to be them or get the same books that they do, but you'll be paying 3-4 more time what you actually paid for during the time when you got it till now.
Yeah, and a lot of it, like you said, I mean, most average normal people can't just drop $50,000 to $60,000 on a book they want. Like that helps you get a house, man. That gets you a vehicle, and that takes care of important responsibilities in your life that you have to take care of, man. That money can put food on your table. It's and that's a lot of money to spend on a book,
it kind of brings us back to Sticky Goose. He did have the money to spend.
Yeah.
And I think early on, I would have advised him, no, just buy a couple of things that you like. And, for me, I don't want to spend a lot of money. I go to comic book sales and I go through the dollar bins and I find stuff that I like there. And I don't mind, getting good deals. And I think people forget that. They just want to make a lot of money off comics. And that doesn't make sense to me.
No, I think that was the dream that we all had during the early 90s.
Yeah, right. With Image,
yeah, with Image, and even with Death of Superman. God, I remember. I think I told this story. I told my wife that you got to stand in line with me, and she thought I was a crazy bastard. But I got 2 copies. I mean, look where that book is at now.
Yeah,
not gonna put me through freaking retirement. But at the time, I thought this book was gonna worth like $50,000 to $60,000.
Everybody did.
Yeah,
like even everybody else in that line thought they were going to hit the jackpot one day with it, and
So, comic book is a hobby. It's not should be something that you will want to plan your retirement plan for.
Yeah. But the good thing is, David, is you didn't pay stupid hopeful prices. You didn't pay like $1,000 for the book or something, hoping it'd be worth $50,000 one day. You didn't throw your money in the garbage. You just paid what the book's value is.
Yeah, like you said earlier,
I can't go wrong with that. I mean, you never go wrong with paying what that value is on it like that. If it's, not
those
expensive
books. I got it. Don't get me wrong. I spent $1,000 on a book. you know,
Yeah.
on a book, and there's not once or twice, but I think I did it twice in my life during my collection. One was that Ultimate Fallen #4, the 9 that it was signed. I think I paid about $700 in cash with some few trade, and I flipped and I sold it for 9,000. You know,
you did really well on that.
yeah, and I bought the cover A back for $1,700, and right now I could have gotten it for $700. You know,
Right.
but that's after the fact.
But
And
did you sell it?
no, I did not sell it.
That
One, and the other $1,000 I sold was through Strictly Comics. He had a giant size X-Men Raw. I saw the condition. I thought it was okay for $1,000 on a 7.0. That seems like a decent price at that time. So he cleaned it, he pressed it, he sent it to CGC for me. Came back 9.8. Came back as an 8.0. So I doubled, and I still have it. I'm still waiting for the X-Men to be released in the MCU for me to actually sell the damn thing for maybe $5,000 when it does. But I still enjoy the hobby, but there's some aspect of this, how this comic book collecting and this hobby has changed so much drastically within the past 10 years that I've been collecting, is to a point where now it's like, if I can put myself back where I started, if I started now, will I be buying into those packs, or would I do the same thing? You know, and I can't, certain thing I can't fathom of spending $300-400 on a blind bag for a character. I have no idea what the character is all about.
So speaking of change and things you can't fathom, this is what's came out recently. The Comic-Con in San Diego is now a cruise. So would you guys go on a cruise?
I heard about those cruises. It's a fraud. It's a fraud. There was this one channel that I was listening to, and he actually went on those Comic-Con cruise, and I think the main special guest was one of the Star Trek, the Asian guy. What's his name?
George Takei.
And he was the only one there. There's no comic books, vendors, nothing. It was just dinner and host, which happens to be one of the celebrities and that was pretty much it.
There's no comic creators, huh?
Yeah, there's no real big comic creator. It's supposed to be a Comic-Con, which means, I don't know, cosplay, so and so, but there's none of that. It was just one celebrity, and there's no comic book vendors, nor they were selling any comic books.
Terrible.
There's a lot of how would you say, swags and keychains and things and T-shirts that they sell.
A lot of hype.
It was just a lot of hype. So I don't know. If you want to spend $400-500 per person to go on a cruise for not even a day. I think it's 6, 7, 8 hours. 6 hours or 5 hours of this cruise. They just go around and come back, and by all means, if you have the money for it, if you want to experience. But
this one looks like it's a week. January 30th.
January. No, thank you, because I don't want to be stuck with people smelly, nasty, people for a whole week.
Who do they have advertised to be there?
It's like the con deal. And then you want to put that on the ship, like, no thanks.
Exactly.
You got some actors like Dominic Monaghan and Billy Boyd. That's from Lord of the Rings. You got Jason Isaacs from Harry Potter. Got Alex Kingston. Doug Jones looks like the only comic creator there. So I would not go to this.
And how much is it?
If you have an ocean view, it's $1,400.
Ooh.
And if you have a suite, it's $4,200.
Wow! You know what kind of book you can get for $1,400 to $4,200? You know what kind of one-piece card that you can get for $4,200?
So the base is what, like for the cheapest thing, it's like $400 or $500.
$1,400 is what he said.
$1,400. No, that's for Ocean View.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
if
if
you're
you
below
have,
deck, what is that?
so if you just got an interior view, it's
Yeah.
$1,200.
$1,200.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's gonna be booked real fast because there's so many people. I'm telling you, the thing is,
What about like a storage bin? If you get to, is it like a
Oh.
storage bin thing where you can?
No,
No,
no
no.
basement.
no basement.
Okay,
No.
no
Oh,
thanks.
well, here's the thing that I really love about this collective market, this hobby. We can say a lot of bad things, or we can tell you guys what not to do, what to do from our experiences, right? Like how Sticky Goose saying how influencers have ruined the comic collecting. We can talk about our bad experiences and we can share to this world by doing this YouTube live stream or video. But there's always gonna be a pack of those people don't really give a damn what we have to say, and they're just gonna do what it is. I mean, we talked about CGC, like how bad CGC can be. How the Ben Gate has affected, but still, there's hundreds of thousands of people are still sending comic book to CGC, right? We can talk about how bad how the ratio of spending $300, hoping to get that one of the one, maybe one of the 1,000, one of the 2,000, but there's going to be thousands and thousands of people will click on that buy now or bid now to get that. So
I think aside from the money, there's a lot of people who just want to show off and have those bragging rights. Like for example, they'll go to a convention and they'll get a special variant. Oh, look what I got! Look what I got! They just want to do that on their social media. I think that's the other part of it.
Clout.
So it's a bragging rights then,
But
right?
that's the way it should be. Like the influencers, I mean, you should make up your own mind, make your own decisions, and be accountable for whatever decision you make. Like if I want to submit to CGC, I don't care what other people
Somebody else
say,
says,
like
make it
or CBCS or whatever. Like if I want to get
because
raw,
you guys that take accountability for your guys' action, and regardless of what the outcome is, you really don't give a shit what other people think because that was your decision, But you're not gonna make a video complaining about it, right?
right.
No. But this
Even-
Sticky Goose, I think he made about 5 videos about his own personal emotional video about how the influencers have ruined
but that's how he
this.
feels, and I mean that's fine. Like
that's
talk about what you know, right? Like
that's his experience with it. So I don't really have a problem with him doing some of that or whatever. But it's just kind of like
seems like he wants community. Like he didn't name any names or specify anything on the influencers, which
it was a vague
to me
video.
it was kind of very generic, but
but it kind of like it was real open and wide to where like it's not pinpointing anybody in specific. I think it's just like a general warning about watch out for influencers. They're in it for themselves, and it's they're duping a lot of people, so don't be somebody that's going to get duped for it. And I think he's suffered through some of that, so I think he can relate to that. I think it has been part of his experience, which isn't a good experience. So I get why that would leave.
And maybe that's just like his influencers have ruined it.
Yeah,
for him. Like
so now he is probably upset about it. I would be too if I but it's still.
But he's also I feel like what's missing is the accountability part.
Yeah.
Like
that's the whole thing.
You're responsible for what you spend your money on.
For his action.
He made the decision to whip out that credit card. He went to that store, paid those bucks. It's all on him too.
Yeah. It's on all of us. Like me, I'll tell you, like we paid, and we had to trade in some books. We had to trade in, some of our keys to get this one particular book because we like the book, and it's not worth what we paid for it. But I don't regret it. And it's and a lot of people would think it's stupid because they don't like it or they don't like this particular character, they don't like this particular series, and it's not super duper popular and all that kind of stuff. But I don't really give a crap. Like we love it and we like it, and it's one of my favorite books that I have in my collection. and I'll never regret having that book, and I would still think we made a good decision in doing it because we didn't have to pay hardly anything out of cash. It basically, one of our keys covered it in its entirety. And then we had a little bit of money left over, so it didn't.
It's a win-win.
Yeah, it's a win-win. It is, it's not worth it's not worth the value that it was when we got it, like 8 years ago or whatever, so it's not.
Which are you talking about? The Type 26 or what?
No.
Archie #1?
Yeah.
I still think it's worth.
I don't know. It's an Archie #1, and we got that, and it's a 3.0 Archie Comics #1, which to us is one of our favorite books in our collection. It means the most to us. But I'll tell like a friend about, like I told one of my friends about it, and he goes, "Why would you get that? Like what?" He goes, "Archie." I'm like,
Yeah, because he doesn't understand it.
Right. Yeah. And so he kind of, broke at me a little bit, which we've kind of laughed about it. I kind of explained to him, what it is and all that kind of stuff. He was okay. Yeah. But he doesn't know a lot about comic books anyway. But to the non-comic person, they're like, Archie, why the hell would you want Archie Comics #1 out of, whatever? And it's just something that we like. And I don't care if anybody likes it. It's not popular anymore. And I don't care.
Yeah.
And for what we got,
it is popular.
It is popular. Yeah, it's popular, but it's not
it's
not like super. It's not like one of the major.
One of the genres is one of the Americana things to have is Archies. During the
it's absolutely one of the most important comic books in the world. And especially to us
globally too.
Globally too. Yeah, it's extremely it's absolutely, but it's not like Superman or Batman though. You know what I mean? It doesn't have that same. It doesn't have that in the comic book. The comic book community, I think it does, but like the normal, regular people, I don't think it kind of.
Even in comic book, we see like some videos and they're like Archie, like
and it's like wow, but I'll never regret having that book, and it is one of those kind of books to where, for a while there, it was just like in this black hole to where you couldn't find any copies, and all of a sudden, like everything else, all this stuff kept coming out of the woodwork, and then within like 5 years of us getting that book, then all of a sudden. All these copies come out, 4 or 5 more sell, and 2 more sold at the same grade that we got it out, and they both sold for a little bit less than what ours sold for, and what we
but
got.
Some have sold for more.
Some have sold for more, so it's kind of
all over the place.
It's just all over the place. It's hard to kind of pinpoint it down. 1 sold for more, and 2 sold for less.
There's a restored copy that recently went for a bit.
Quite a bit, yeah. It's wild, man. It's hard to predict that kind of stuff, but that's why I say you got to collect what you really love, so you don't. I don't regret it because. I know they could go for higher next time, and it could go for lower, and it's a golden age book, and it's kind of one of those. They're weird books, man.
Joe, do you feel that you were part of that influenced people to go and get those Archie books that you showed in your hall, and later on, within a week or two, it's on the top 10 list, or people are showing more, and you feel that. The more copies are being sold on the secondary.
I don't think enough people watch our channel, or
and it's not the kind of book that you could just like run out and get. Like you're still talking about thousands of dollars.
Yeah, or not just that, but I think it's talking about like the Archie comics in general, just like the the $100 copies, the $50 copies, the $25, just in general, just like the flirt covers and stuff. I think maybe there's like a few people out there that maybe kind of that we know and that we talk to every once in a while that watch our videos that maybe that kind of opened up their eyes to how cool some of that stuff really is, But overall, I don't think we made a big impact on anything because nobody really watches our channel or anything like that. And we haven't been on some kind of major platform to where we could like really.
I love Archie, and if anyone else, finds it and loves it too, like I hope I'm a part of that.
I hope I'm part of that too, yeah, because it's such a great. We love that stuff. So
like I said, you will be surprised just because. You're saying that you might not have an impact on the market, but you never know. You never know. Yeah. You make videos, you show books, you tell about it, and like you said, new comic book collector might come across to certain things that they feel like, oh, you know what? I remember He's a Dan showed that book. Now it's on the top 10. You know what I mean? It's that we are somewhat might not be the most impactful influencer on here on YouTube, but we are influencing one way or another, So I'm just saying that keep showing them books, keep doing those hauls, and I've been doing this market watch things, just going through my collection and just to pick 5 books and to see what is going on a secondary market, and I enjoyed it because it surprises me how much it's selling for regardless if it's high or low. But at the same time, I've been getting some decent like DM sometimes on comments and saying, hey, uh, that they will give their comments like, hey, you know what, I'm going for this book. It was on my written, but since you brought it up, so and so. So in a way, we influence people one way or another, good or
Right.
bad, and just we're trying to make this thing more to, I don't know, give our own opinion of what our thoughts are on certain topics that we might be talking about, or even this here, influencers are bad or good. There's no yes or no answer. It's like
Right.
taking it as you like. You might not like us, you might not like Ron because he's always silent, always reading about something. They might like Joe or Yvonne because Yvonne always corrects Joe, and Joe is always
Check
I'm
it
always
out.
wrong
It's
about
like
something.
Appearance of Muse. It's on sale.
how much.
$400.
No, thank you.
It's a deal, man.
Sorry.
Yeah, but and it always goes back is collect what you like, but make sure that you narrow down exactly what you like instead of
Yeah.
what other
And I
people.
think the word influencer sometimes has this negative connotation to it, just because there's a lot of influencers out there that are just bad apples, and they just do stupid things or bad things, or they do harmful things to people with pranks, and they do all kinds of stuff, or they just try to rip people off, or to try to sell their own stuff, or try to sell nonsense stuff to people for way over inflated prices. So I think there's a lot of influencers out there that do negative and bad things, and not good things. I think that leaves kind of leaves like when you say influencers, you think negative. Like I think the first thing you think of is something negative, but there's a lot of like really good influencers.
I think because there's a lot of predatory.
There's a lot of predatory
influencers.
people that are influencers, but there's also a lot that aren't. And I think to influence somebody towards a good direction, or towards a direction that'll make them happy or improve their collecting or improve their stuff, I think that's great. I'm all for influencers that influence people, like that educate people, and people can learn from it, and people can grow from it, and it might help them. It might help shape, and decide what overall is best for them and what they like, and they can make a good and proper decision based upon a well-educated, summary of everything that they see and everything they investigate about, with that. So I think there's a lot of good influencers that do stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, for every 10 good influencers, there's always going to be one or two bad
Right.
influencers.
Yeah.
Or the other way around.
Or other way around.
Yeah. Might be the other way around. I'm not really sure.
Other way around. But they always tend to have their followers good intention that they're doing this for them. I hear a lot of things like, oh, I do this research, I do this channel, I do all this PowerPoint, so and so, it's for you guys.
Yeah.
Like, no, fuckers, you guys not doing this for us.
Yeah.
You're doing this for your own fucking goddamn egotistic, narcissistic fucking ego. We do this. I do this for nothing. I honestly say I do enjoy doing this, regardless if I only have 4 people here, watching this live. I enjoy it. I enjoy the company. I enjoy talking.
Same way.
And the same thing, but those big channels, I'm doing this for you guys. I'm like, no, fuckers, you're not doing this for us. You're doing this for yourself, and you got big, and kudos to them because they put a lot of fucking work into it.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
The editing and the thing, the things like that. I mean, I watch Alex the comic holder channel. Fuck, the editing that he does. I mean, it's just it's a top notch.
That's a lot of free time.
No, seriously,
dedicating to it.
Yeah, because
for some of our videos, she's had to do. I don't edit. I'm too stupid, but she's done the editing, and it can take a while because she got to edit out some of my stupid crap that I say. So I say something stupid, she's like, that's got to go, and no, that's wrong. That's got to go. I think it was this artist. No, it's not. That's got to go. So,
Like, just stop talking.
Yeah, just be quiet.
And I noticed that even Sticky Goose, when he talks, he does a lot of editing himself as well. And it takes time, for one video. I think average, if you're not really good of what you're doing, it takes about half an hour to an hour to edit to make sure that it's kind of goes flawless.
Yeah.
So Alex, the channel he's done is like, I don't know if he's good at it or he just takes so much time doing it. But regardless what it is, these people are taking hour of their time to make a video to show or to say to expose who they are or what they have to say. So I mean, I have nothing bad to say about that, you know. But the only thing that bad I can say is when you say you're doing this for the us as a collector, I think you guys are full of shit, you know. Honestly, this live chat, this live show, regardless who comes in, I did this for a fact just to get together once or twice a week and just talk about comics, you know, or something that we all can relate. And a certain topic might work, something topic might not work, but it's just for us to get together and just talk about things, you know, not to get views, not to make money, but just OG collectors that wants to come in and just talk, you know. And like I always say to you guys, thank you very much for spending at least an hour to 2 hours of your Sunday afternoon to be here and just talk and just give your opinion what your thought is. I'm just
honestly with social media, I don't want to make an effort.
No,
I don't
me
want to work
neither.
so hard.
Me neither.
It's like my post on Cemetery Chicken.
I saw that one.
I took the picture and that's it. That's all I gotta do.
But at least you could have zoomed in a little bit more. God
Yeah.
Did you get some chicken though?
Yeah.
No. I'm not
You
gonna
need
do
to do a taste test.
You need to do a taste test and a review.
No, thank you.
You need to do a review on the show. That's what. Bring some.
Yeah.
Show
You
it.
should make
show
a
what it looks
video.
like and-
I'm on a location at the cemetery nearby my house, and here's the chicken, and and you know, do a selfie of yourself eating. It's like, oh, this is not a damn bad chicken at all.
No. I'm not gonna do
Just
that.
hope that it's chicken.
But regardless, if I'm ever in the neck of your woods, Ron, I'm definitely going to go there, and I'm just definitely gonna try out that chicken.
And then across the street is the comic book store. We can go to comic book store.
Oh, okay, see,
is that built on top of a graveyard or anything weird like that? Or is it
No,
just-
I don't know.
Just across.
Might
All
be.
right.
yeah. So I'm gonna have a chicken with I'm gonna eat it with my hand, and I'm not gonna wash my hand. We're gonna walk down to comic book, and we're gonna go through that.
We can do comic book first and then get chicken. The other way is better.
Comic books and chicken.
See, we gotta say thanks for doing this for us. It's like, no, we're not doing this for you. This is for me and inviting my friends. And yeah, you know what the thing is, even with the topics, it's really hard. You know, coming up with a topic, but like every other 2 weeks is like hard. That's why I kind of lean towards FOC and new releases, because that can take at least about 15 to 20 minutes of our time going through what's out, you know, what's coming up, just to put a little bit more content into this thing. But like I said, I'm not doing this for you guys. I'm doing this for myself so I can talk with you guys. So
Yeah.
you know,
And we go off the rails all the time anyway, which is kind of fun.
Yeah,
So
I mean, it's the best. That's the best time I have in this chat.
Yeah.
It's like when we go off the rails and fucking we can laugh about it, you know?
Yeah, it gets
You want
pretty.
to see one of the things we picked up?
Yeah. Hold on.
For David.
Yeah, you'll like this, Dave.
Yeah.
What is it?
Girls and Corpses.
Ooh.
Wow.
It has
That was the first Peach Momoko published art.
yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's the only reason why we got it. We don't collect stuff like that,
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
not per se.
Well,
But
so
like
that's official Peach Momoko published art.
yes, the first time she ever did any kind of printed art or anything is in that book right there.
Yeah.
See? And you guys and everybody said this is non-educational show. Now you guys know Peach Momoko very first.
It's a pretty trashy book. You might like it, David. But
I love the cover.
I didn't like it because it's super trashy, but it's
I love the
kind of
cover.
art in it.
Have any copies of that been slabbed and posted on eBay or anything like that?
Yeah,
I think
someone
so.
has like a 9.6 signed on eBay for like 2,000 right now, or 1,000.
It was signed by Peach Momoko.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Ours is not a 9.6, and it's not signed by Peach Momoko,
Yeah.
so it's
I
or it's
think it's
much,
signed.
much. Do what? Is it signed?
No, ours isn't, but I think the one that's
Okay.
on there. But they have like a
Okay.
crazy amount.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Wow. Who knew Peach Momoko will be on one of them Beauties and
Yeah,
Horror
2000,
magazine?
Yeah, it's on eBay for $1,995,
and it is signed.
and it is signed by Peach Momoko. Yeah.
Mhm.
Did I tell you guys I met her at a con? I went up to her and asked her how much would it cost for you to do a sketch, and she gave me a price, and I thought it was too much, and I just walked away.
How much was it?
I can't remember. It was 3 digits.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just a doodle?
I don't remember what it was what I wanted, but
You wanted probably Black Widow.
Yeah.
yeah, I probably wanted Black Widow, but just a sketch. I think
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're saying because when I met Souza Micah at Emerald City Comic Con, I wanted her to do a Spider-Man, right? And she looked at me and I said, yes, Spider-Man. And I gave him a blank sketch of Ultimate Fallout 4. I said, can you draw a Spider-Man in this? And she goes, she doesn't know how much. So she asked a manager, not a master, a manager. And the manager comes.
Where did that come from? What is that?
And she goes, $500.
Peach Momoko.
$500 for fucking like the sketch that I have it up there, just a doodle, asking $500. So
She's attractive too.
Yeah, there's
like,
y'all see that back there, right?
Yeah,
those are like the original cover
That's
art.
Peach Momoko.
Momoko's original cover art for
cool.
Last Round in #1 and Thor.
I think it's
number
6
or 7, maybe. Yeah, it's the variants on those. So.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at it, there's more detail. It's a full, there's covered. I mean, it's actual original art for the cover, the cover of a comic book that was published.
Yeah,
so I understand that, because I spend on that. This cover art. I spend close to about $350. No, about $500 shipped and everything, right?
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Right? Okay, $500 for an original art for a cover that was published. No, Souza Micah on a fucking, it's just like that, or just like just sketch, like how Adam Hughes would do a side sketch, asking $500.
Yeah.
$500. $500. I said, go fuck yourself. And ever since then, I went kind of boycotted her. But when she came out with the Harley Quinn, that Batgirl, I mean that cowgirl kind of outfit, I jumped on it because fucking that's a nice cover. But still, like she still has a really bad. Even Neil Adams, that fucking guy, he rest in peace, Neil Adams. But he cheated me out of a freaking selfie. I mean, if a portrait with him, and paid me. I paid $750 for a sketch, thinking that I'm gonna have a freaking photo of him with me together. But he was taking a crapper, and I waited there for 25 minutes, and he didn't show up. So I know he was hiding behind a freaking pillar somewhere. Saying, that agent, I'm gonna go when the Asian man leaves my booth, and
I don't think Adam. I mean.
No, Adam Hughes is like hiding over there, looking like, oh, he's still there. I can't go back because I gotta take pictures. From my understanding, like he doesn't really like taking pictures with others. That's what I heard, and I can see like behind the pillar. Oh, he's still there. He's still there. I was there.
I don't think Neil Adams was over there dodging you.
So yeah, a lot of people say he's a great guy, but to me, he's a piece of shit. I mean, rest in peace, like I said.
Wow.
Because he cheated me out of a freaking photo op with him, and Souza Micah charging me $500, and the look that she gave me, that bitch, like
what? Why'd she give you a look?
She gave me that look. It was Sunday. It was afternoon. It was around 3:30 because that's during the time that I pretty much leave the con because I'll go there when it's open at 10. And she's working on a commission. And I said, Susan Micah, and she looked up. It's like, is it possible you could do a sketch of Spider-Man? And she looked at me like, Spider-Man. Like she never. I don't know if she ever did a Spider-Man, but she looked at me like a Spider-Man. Like I said, yeah, could you just do a head sketch of Spider-Man? And she's like, oh, I don't know. And she calls the manager. I was gonna call. I said fucking master again. And like, hey, she like She calls the manager from the back. Like, hey, this guy wants a commission of a Spider-Man. And like, what kind of? Like, I just want a head, just a head sketch. And it's like $500. And she's like looking at me like $500. I'm like, $500. I'm like, fuck no. And ever since then, I like fuck Susan Micah. I mean, she's a great artist and all, but fuck her.
But I mean, playing devil's advocate.
Yes.
3:30 on a Sunday at a convention.
It's time to wrap up at that time.
Yeah, it's kind of late to be asking for a commission.
Wait. Dan Sakai only took 5 minutes to draw that. Okay. Dan Parent only took 20 minutes to draw that. Mm-hmm. Zdarsky took 7.5 minutes, close to 8 minutes to with a water. He used a paintbrush, to draw that, So, and he charged me $35, $50, $25.
How long did it take Susan Micah to do hers?
He didn't get it.
No, I didn't do it. All I wanted was a freaking like his head, my Spider-Man head. That probably took like 10 minutes of her time, and the con finishes at 7. She still have 3.5 hours more to work on whatever she has to work on. And charging
people, a lot of it looks like the digital art kind of stuff too, doesn't it?
No, she was working on some. But what I'm saying is $500. Like, go fuck yourself, I'm sorry with the languages, but I feel like it is.
I don't know.
Artists,
Yeah. Most artists like you to go like earlier on in the convention or early on in the day so they have more time. And there's no telling how many slots she had in front of you. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't even asking for remark. I was just saying, can you just do a simple doodle, on a blank sketch? That's all. I don't want a perfect, with highlights and everything. Just draw me a Spider-Man head. It only should take 5 to 10 minutes. You're an artist,
Yeah. But she also might not want to
wait, the thing is, you don't charge $500 just for a doodle, which I was asking for. What you couldn't even say, $100. I would have paid $100 for stupid doodle.
Yeah, but they might have done that because it's towards the end of the day and she doesn't want to give you crap, and then it's like you probably won't get they probably gave you a price that you probably wouldn't. They might have been like, $500. Like, I really don't want to do this. So I'll charge you $500 for it because it's towards the end of the day, and she might not want to do a doodle to where her art is out there representing her art, and it looks like shit because she had 10, 15 minutes to draw it or whatever. She might. That's her livelihood and her art, so she might not want her stuff out there looking like.
Or she might have been tired at the end of the convention.
Might have been tired at the end of the convention, just didn't want to do it. So yeah, sure, $500. That's cool.
No, it's a piece of shit, Joel.
Is that 500?
No, this was done by David Mack. Okay, David Mack. I told him, can you and so I have 3 copies of this. One, anyway. So I gave him 2. It's a piece of shit. No, he's a great artist. I mean, he does really great covers.
That's why I was joking. Okay. That's why I was joking.
That's like Adam Hughes. As great as his art is, you see his little
Adam Hughes sketches are shit.
So those are Micah, you son of a bitch. He charged me $100 for this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You could have done this, and it only took him 30 minutes. 30 minutes.
And it was $100.
And guess what? I was at the con. It was almost the same time. I think it was about. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't done at 4 p.m.
See,
this was done
Yeah, that's what we're talking.
I mean, it's like the more you talk, the more.
Yeah,
like...
that's exactly what we're talking about. Comics and culture. That's exactly what we're just towards the end of the day on a Sunday, and you're not going to get anything. You're going to be hard pressed to find something quality that's
like a lot of artists do not even take your commission at that time.
Okay. So Yvonne, I like what you just said. A lot of the artists won't even take that, right?
Right.
All she had to say was, "No, I'm sorry, I'm booked. I can't."
That's right.
And then you still would have been like, "You bitch!" Like,
no. Hey, Ron, you remember you wanted a sketch of Chazuri, whatever, Chalazar, what's her name? Chrissy.
Chrissy Zulo.
I mean, like the story would have been the same, just slightly different. Like,
yeah. No, you still would be like that bitch.
No,
she looked at me and just told me no. Come on, I know you, David.
Okay, Ron.
You got a lot of stories like that, dude.
Ron wanted a sketch from Chrissy Zulu, a sketch. That's the same time I got these from that con. I was there at 10:30. I was there at 10:30 on a Sunday. On a Saturday. It was as a Sunday, 10:30 in the morning. Okay. And she told me, "I'm sorry, I can't do anything," and I respect her for it. Until this day, I don't talk crap about her because she told me honestly, "I'm sorry, I'm booked. I can't do any more work. On next time there's online that you can actually request during the certain cons at certain time that you can actually put your request in. But as right now, I can't do any walking." I was good. Humberto Ramos. I went and asked him for a remark on one of the books, and he say, "I'm sorry." He turned me down. But at the same time, I understood him. I knew where it was coming. But Souza Micah, that bitch, she fucking told me for $500. All she had to say was, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm booked. I can't do anything. I'm very sorry."
But her master said it was $500, David. He asked her master, and he proclaimed it's $500.
Yeah, because she fucking said $500 for. I'm sure it was gonna be something like this. At least David Mack said okay and charged me $100 for this and said okay, it could be a piece of shit, but
it's still a cool cover though, David. I love it. That's still a cool cover, I gotta admit.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
What? What? You think that's a cool cover? God damn it, give me another one. He did two, but this is the only one I can find. I'm sorry. When I saw this, I love David. He's a cool guy. I think he's a real good cool. He gave me a free print of Moon Knight with him signed on. But this is not what I expected from him. And when I showed this to one of the guys, and people go, David Mack. Yes, he does terrible sketch. He does a great commission if you give him a day or two. But if you give him he's awful. And I found out after I got this, and then I start to saying, "Oh, okay, I can understand it," because he showed me his Daredevil. It was worse than this. It was worse than this. So I can understand. But as for Souza Micah, if you're watching this, you bitch, don't ever say that you would do it for $500 if you're not going to put your heart and soul into it. Just turn them down. Just say, "I'm sorry, I can't fucking do it," And Neil Adam, rest in peace. But if you're an artist, if you're going to promise that person a portrait or taking picture next to you, keep the damn promise instead of fucking docking me.
John Romita Jr.
Yeah, that's a piece of shit, but it's cool.
It was free.
And it's free. And that free looks fucking 100 times better than my $100 sketch. Yeah, and JR is also from one person is that even him, he's not the greatest sketch person to get anything sketched. He said that hey, Joshua,
one man's piece of shit is another man's treasure, David.
That feels like it's on you. And yeah.
Yeah, it's not the best thing in the world. Yeah,
I love it. Yes, it's on me.
Like $5 for it or something. It's like for a charity event.
I did not know about that.
Yeah, we got a donation to like a charity for it.
Yeah, It's like me going to Delato and say, "Hey, give me a sketch of so and so." I'm sure he could have done a better sketch of it.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is,
4 o'clock on a Sunday.
I doubt that.
it's not 4 o'clock. It was
Sorry, it's 3:45. My
It was
bad.
3:30.
3:59, whatever.
You know? Oh
Yeah.
shit! I mean, even Chip Zdarsky, when I got his little remark on one of my Daredevil #1, I was standing in line, and this line was long. It was long, and when I got there, it was about 2:30, and he still gave time to do a little doodles, a remark on a cover. I mean, and it was for free too, and that's the good positive feel that the experience that I get when I go to a con. Not people fucking holding me $500.
That's what we're saying. We've been saying that for 20 minutes now.
Okay. At that time, I only have Sundays off, right? And my times are very limited. Yes, it's on, but I know it's on me. It's on me. But the thing is, I appreciate this art more because he took the time. If you're gonna look like a piece of shit, I don't know if this is a spider or spider on a web. I don't know what it is, but I'm just saying that I appreciate it more of the fact that the artists are willing to take the time, and so instead of fucking overcharging for $500 or for something that
you don't know it was an overcharge because you.
So okay, can you blow that up so I can see it better? I can't see it real well. Like, is there any way to like? And I'll
just make
yeah.
That's cool.
It's cool.
Oh, you being fucking too nice.
But it's a little wonky.
Yeah.
It's
How
kind of.
It's not even centered.
I know it's not. Yeah, it's wonky, dude.
How
But
much
it's
was it? How much was it?
$100.
it's pretty wonky, dude. Yeah,
It's a decent
Well,
size.
wonky's a
good
nice
size,
way of
but
saying-
it's not
wonky's a
centered.
nice way of saying
Things
that.
are out of things are out of
Yeah,
it's
Yeah,
out of proportion.
it's not okay. It's centered now, right? It's centered. Okay, here. What? Hold on. This is being centered. Oh shit! What am I doing? Anyway,
I see what you. Yeah, but it's a little bit.
this is centered. This is not centered. I don't know what he was gonna do here, but he seems like said, "Fuck it." I only charge him. He says, "Screw this! I'm not finishing this. I only charge him $100. Maybe I should have charged him $500 and fucking probably put something else over here." I don't know what it is, but it. And look, I got this from Joker 88. Something like this. It was free.
Yeah.
It's to a point where I understand you guys are talented, you guys were sold, you guys made your names and what, but don't fucking tell don't tell people you're gonna charge them full $500 for a fucking piece of shit. All I asked for was a doodle, bitch.
Do you think she would have given you something quality, or do you think it would have been crap?
No, it would have been better than that, I'm sure, but I'm still $500. I'm not paying for it, know. Yeah. Even for Neil Adams, fuck, where's Neil Adams here? Oh. Okay. So here, $500, okay? This is what I got from, here. This is what I got from Mike Deodato on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay. And he did also Batman in the back.
Okay.
Okay. Sunday
cool.
afternoon. So Drescher, yes, it feels like it's Sunday, but some really good artists, they'll put an art and they'll tell you yes or no. And when they do, they'll do a quality art. Okay. Now, Neil Adams, that son of a bitch, he still owes me a portrait, but this is what he has done for me, Yes, and this was also on a Sunday afternoon.
Pretty cool.
That's
yeah,
good.
it's good. So it's
How
not
much did he charge you for that? How much was it?
This was $750.
Okay.
Okay.
I paid $700 for a Jim Lee head sketch that's kind of a not real detailed like that.
It's like side profile.
It's like a side profile. It's
Yeah.
like, you know, it's pretty good. It's pretty good size, but well, I'm pointing at that like you can see where my finger's pointing at. But yeah, it's like, you know, half the book or whatever size, and
Yeah,
like
the
7,
Sunday
it looks cool, but
afternoon.
it looks better if you pull it back. It looks more detailed, but if you look at it up front, you can tell it's missing some detail and stuff. But
Oh
you
yeah,
did it
no,
cool.
no, there's missing a lot of stuff, but the thing is, they put a time and an effort, and for charging for 750 to 5. Mike Deodato, I was surprised that he did this, but when it turned around, he said, "Oh, I did Batman for you as well." I'm like, "Wow, thank you." It was on a Sunday afternoon. It was not the same time as Souza Micah. It was a different time. This was done in 2019. As for Souza Micah, I think I saw her in 2002. It's like three years ago, you know. So yeah, to me, and this is the reason why I'm a little bit more, that because Deodato Jr., legend one. When he was saying, he could have always says no, I don't have time, but he said, okay, come back in 30 minutes. I come back in 30 minutes, and that's what I got.
Yeah.
Neil Adam, he told me come back in an hour, and of course the picture of me and him supposed to be back here, but fuck, that's not going to happen anymore. But
It tells you to come back in an hour so he can find something that he already did about a year ago.
Yeah, and he fucking dodged me. It's like he fucking started dodging me. He's like, oh, he's still there, But the thing is,
I know I got that somewhere.
Picture was supposed to be here, but that shit never gonna happen. But I'm saying is, after an hour, this is what I got, But
yeah, here's my Jim Lee. I can't find the book.
Hold on, I'm gonna solo you out. Go ahead. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's cool.
It's $700, but
I don't know, but my Deodato Batman looks much better than the Jim Lee. No, but you see where I'm passionate about this bitch trying to charge me $500.
No.
I bet she says the same thing about you. This bitch came up to me at 4:45 on a Sunday, right when I was about to
3:30.
Joe,
it was 4:40 something.
She says the same thing about you, David. This bitch came up to my table, wanting something at 3:45 when it's about time to wrap stuff up. Wanted a sketch.
But the con ends at 7. It's not like I was there at 6:30 and say, "Can you do a sketch?" Oh fuck! There was another 3.5 hours, and it only would have took her 10 minutes. Come on, legendary people took 30 minutes to do this sketch.
Yeah, she probably should have just told you that I don't have time or that I'm not
exactly. Thank you, Joe.
Yeah,
thank you.
No, it's not on her. It's on you.
Come on, Yvonne. I'm just saying that. Anyway, going back to influencer and Sticky Goose. Sticky Goose. Enough of the video of you being fucking anal raped by these influencers. Suck it up. Just say it was my fault to listen to those stupid assholes anyway, and man up and say I'm never gonna do this again. But I'm making this video for you guys to not to go through the same experience that I went through. That's how you should end your fucking videos instead of pointing fingers for your stupid ass mistake. You say, David, I blame David. That's always the right choice. Yes, I am to blame, but the thing is, I have a legitimate evidence to show you what it should have looked and what I got from David Mack, and compared to from $100 to $500 to a $750, and it makes a huge difference. Oh, look! Oh shit! Talk about that. Look what I got for $300.
Ooh!
And she said, "Come back in an hour." Look.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. And only charge me $300, not $500. You Souza Micah bitch.
What time did you arrange that commission?
Saturday at
The time
10
is the
a.m.
essence here. The time is the essence here. It's not the day, it's the time.
It's
I-
everything.
yeah. Well, the thing is that I went there. I took about half an hour to park, so it opened at 10. So I was there at 11:30 in the morning on a Saturday because now I get off on the weekend. So
There
yes,
you go.
There you go.
yeah.
What about Neil Adams? When did you ask for Neil Adams sketch?
Neil Adam was around 2 something in the
On a
Sunday
Sunday or
afternoon.
Saturday?
Sunday.
Sunday.
Even same for Mike Deodato. It was on a
You know,
Sunday.
You know what surprised me about Neil? He's one of the all-time greats. You know what surprised me about him is when the first time we saw him at a convention, nobody was at this dude's table. Nobody. Like we were trying to find him, like, oh, he's right in the middle. They had him like set up almost like in the middle of the floor. Like in the other booths were all around the walls and all this stuff. And he's like right there in the centerpiece in the middle of the floor. Nobody's at this dude's booth, man. I was surprised.
Why would you be surprised? He's fucking docking people for taking fucking selfies with him.
Yeah, maybe.
No?
I don't know.
You
Yeah, the impression we
overpromised.
got that he was a little bit, maybe a little bit cocky. Or I don't know. He was nice enough, I guess, but he just didn't
We've
seem.
seen him a couple times.
We've seen him a couple times. He didn't seem like overly. He's not like he wasn't like overly friendly. He wasn't like rude or anything, but he wasn't like overly friendly or outgoing either. He kind of seemed like, you know.
I hear a lot of good thing about Neil Adam when he will tell you about his experience and what he has done for the community, you know, for DC, especially when it comes to Joe Shooter and stuff. You know, he will tell you a good story and stuff. But I never got none of that. The fucking guy was on a crapper or dodging me somewhere. So I'm sorry. You know, my personal experience that he's a dickhead. I mean, rest in peace. But for not taking
Rest in peace, Dick. Yeah,
Nick the Dick. Fuck. I mean, he's a great artist. Don't get me wrong.
I don't think he wasn't a dick or anything. He just didn't seem to be like. He was nice. He just wasn't like overly nice, or didn't seem like he was particularly.
Oh, he could be racist. Maybe he doesn't like Asians, so he was docking me.
No,
He
I
was
don't
pretty
think
nice
Neil
to me.
Adams was hiding from you.
Yeah, I think it was avoiding you in particular, David.
Yeah,
Because he was nice to me. I had no
because
problem.
I was the only Asian there.
Were you?
Okay, David.
Yeah.
There's no way to possibly know that.
How do you know that, David?
I'm just saying at the time that I was there, I was the only Asian. Everybody else was all Caucasian, and they talked to him. He was nice about it. When I got there,
Everybody there was Caucasian, David.
well, at Neil Adams' booth,
There's no.
during the time that I was there, I was the only Asian, so I can say I was the only Asian.
At his
Why-
booth, maybe.
And he took pictures with that freaking Caucasian couple. And when I got there, he's like, "Come back in an hour." I was like, "Can I get a picture with you too?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, come back." And so and so. So I said, "Can I pay for it now so that at least so and so?" So I paid for it there and came back, waited 25 minutes, and no show. He didn't show up.
Yeah, that's
And it's not like the bathroom was like freaking.
Why you don't give people your money up front?
yeah, David.
That's your fault.
That's on you.
I'm just saying, from what I experienced, is like he overpromised thing, and he's a racist.
I don't know. I gave the contractor $2,000 to work on my house next week, and he never showed up.
Oh, really?
No, I wouldn't do that.
No,
I would never give.
no,
Yeah,
of course, because you have morals. He doesn't have morals. I mean, he had morals until he made all those money.
he was an
Like,
alright guy. He just
like
didn't-
I'm gonna keep this freaking Asian guy, and I'm just gonna do a thing, and
That's what it is.
yeah.
There's a lot of assumptions being made
That's
right
a lot of
there.
assumptions being made. Yeah,
Well, I want him to come and say something. Oh, wait,
maybe he should have put up a sign: "No Asians, Caucasians only."
that sounds very racist.
That's what you're
That's
saying.
what you're saying.
No, but
Oh,
having a
oh,
sign like that would be racist. But doing something like what he did to me, I feel like he's very discriminative on Asian people. Because, like I said, there were three.
So maybe his sign should say "Seeking Near Mint Comics is not welcome here." Maybe that would.
He doesn't-
Do you really think it was David? Are you kind of playing around, or do you really think it was?
I'm playing around, but the thing is, there was 3 Caucasian people waiting in line. I was the 4th person, and the first 2 he took pictures with them. Okay, he actually invited him back of his,
But he was there. Like you're saying, like he's racist because he wasn't there. Like
no, wait, hold on, because when it was my turn, I said, I'm a huge fan of Batman Who Laughs. Have you ever done a commission of Batman Who Laughs? And he's like, oh, I have a couple of pieces, and he showed it to me. I was like, oh, can you do something similar to that? And he's like, sure. I said, how much would it cost? $750, but I can do a full size for, I think it was for 1,000. I said, well, the 1,000 might be pressing, but you can do a bust. So that's what he did. And I said, can I take a picture with you? And this is what he says. This is what he said. On a Neil, I was gonna say Neil Diamond, but on Neil Adam, on a Neil Adam, if you're watching this, and I'm not lying, he told me, why don't you come back and we'll take a picture together with the finished piece. I said, oh, great idea. Then he said, come back in a half an hour.
He just never showed up at all.
He never showed up. I was there for 25 minutes. I don't care if you have a constipation. It shouldn't take you 25 minutes to take a crapper. And I think I took a little bit longer than 30 minutes because I was just going there and there. I think I was there maybe 5 or 10 minutes later because I had to find a CGC witness guy because he had to witness the the piece. Right?
Did you go by there later again to see if he was at his desk?
Yes.
He just never showed up that rest of that day.
No, he was there.
Okay.
So
I said by the time I had such a bad
thing about this is like intentional. Like
if he was there later on, like maybe he just missed that window. But like you didn't go back there later on when he was there?
No, because when he was there was other people. He already had another line. I'm not waiting to stand in line again. Maybe I should have. Maybe I would have had a better experience, and maybe I might have an actual picture of him and me with that piece. But what I'm saying is, he told when I went there, he already took 2 pictures of 2 people with him behind his booth. So so they can take a picture of his booth and him and them together. I was thinking, oh, I can have the same experience. Oh my God, is a Neil Adam. I don't know too much about him, but I heard so much great thing and I've seen so much great art. I figured, okay, this is a great time for me to take a picture with one of the legendary artists. No, he tells me, come back. All he could have done is said, yeah, come. I would have taken with him and have his wife take a picture of us too, because at the time I wasn't married. So what I'm saying is, he could have done that, right? But no, he told me to come back. I went back. He wasn't there.
I waited.
I waited for 20. You know what? A funny thing that I remember is that even his wife felt a little bit like, where is he, kind of thing, like. But anyway, that was just my whole experience with Neil Adams.
That's too bad because I had a nice experience with him.
See, I didn't. I look more Asian than you, Ron.
Maybe so, but it is all about timing too. The first time I met Eddie Granoff, I did not have a good experience, but the second time he was okay. Yeah. So sometimes the timing is off. We
got to meet Meatloaf one time at a Comic-Con, and you know who Meatloaf is, right? We got to meet him, and the first time we met him, like, it was really awkward. He was kind of short and rude, and not.
It wasn't rude. It was just
weird.
Really rushed, and it was an awkward experience.
Yeah, and it was like we asked him if he could sign it. Can you sign like that? He goes, no, I don't do that because I've been that character, and that character is gone now. So that character no longer exists. I just wanted you to just. I was like
hot patootie, like
hot patootie, plus like whatever from the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and he goes, no, he goes, I'll just sign it my name or whatever. He said, I don't do that because that character is not there anymore.
And he wouldn't even sign it like as
and he wouldn't even sign it, whatever.
Eddie, whatever.
And then we met him again about a year later at another convention, and he was the sweetest person I've ever been around in my life at one of those things. He was and he told me that his experience was just miserable at that place. He said the way the Comic-Con ran it, he said they were just He goes, man, they're
They're
just
just like pushing people.
they're pushing people through and just
trying to move the line.
Trying to move the lines, and they're rude to everybody. And so they make your life difficult as an artist there and trying to do your stuff. They overload you with stuff because they overbook and they do everything. And he said they just put so much stress on me.
Because like everyone in line was like, you know, they're like, I gotta go. Like he was taking too long, like, just because he's talking to everyone a lot. And some people were joking, they're like, I got someone else to meet.
But
like,
he talked to us so much, it's like we kind of had to just kind of slink off a little bit, you know, because he kept talking and talking, and
he was like just so friendly,
but he was so nice, and then I felt better. I was like, okay, I'm glad we got to meet him again, because he recently passed away and stuff. I'm like, I'm glad I didn't have a memory of him like being an unpleasant experience rather than having like a really good experience with him, though, because I thought I was like, wow, that's really, he's not like that at all.
It was like
he was
night and day
difference, man. He was so freaking nice. He was a sweethearted man.
I think for me, Chip Zdarsky is always a very nice guy. I've met him twice. Very nice. And the thing that he does for little kids, a little doodle. Okay. So Chip Zdarsky, both time I met him, very nice guy. You know, Stan Sakai was really nice guy. Terry Dawson was very nice guy. Randy, what's his name? Emberlin. He's a very nice guy. You know, Greg. A lot of people I met is a nice guy. So Neil Adam, because he opted out on things. So anyway, that's a joke. He's not a racist. I mean, I'm sure he's a nice guy, but he probably had some issues. But and Sousa Micah is a bitch. Just that. And the third person that I had really bad experience was with Clayton Crane. I think I told you guys the story, right? One year at Emerald City Comic Con, I took my Ultimate Fallout and I told him, could you sign this? He's like, oh yeah. So he signed it, right? I said, oh, could you please do a remark? He's like, oh yeah, sure. Just so he was, but could you put it? So I told him exactly where to place that, because there was a small little crease at the spine, so I want him to cover that. I wanted to do it at the edge of the book, and he's like, he throws the pen. He's like, I'm not doing this.
You're so high maintenance, David. That's the thing.
He's like, I'm not doing this. Like, I told myself I wasn't going to do any remark on this book, and I'm not going to do it. I'm like, but you just say you would do it. That's what I said. I thought, but you just say you would do it. I don't mind paying how much. I'll pay for your thing. Just do a little doodle for me, because you would say you'll do it, and I'm all in now. But he's like, no, I'm not gonna do it. I said, please, can you just do a doodle? Can you just do a doodle? Then of course he did it, but it was fucking half-ass. And all of the remarks that I see him, he does real good, but mine was a piece of shit.
Because you told him where to place it. Like
he just did it.
No,
I mean,
okay, that book was a 9.6. Okay, that book was a 9.6, and the reason that was 9.6 because on the front of the cover there's a small little spine break tick right by, I think it was Gwen Stacy's face. So I told him, can you? So I didn't even tell him. I said, I requested, could you please do it on that area so it doesn't really block out the of the cover that you had done. And he looks and like, boom, he throws the pen. He literally said, no, I'm not doing it. I'm like, but you said you're gonna do it. But
why do you think he did that?
Huh?
Because he's an artist.
Well, I found out he's an artist, but I found out that he's an introvert.
What's that have to do with it?
I'm an introvert.
It's opposite of extrovert. Extrovert is like, it's like very exciting and
yeah. But why would he do that? Because he's an introvert, though.
Because I think I overwhelmed him. In I don't know how I would
you would overwhelm anybody.
Yeah, overwhelm anybody. But I don't know. He said, "Oh, because introvert." I'm like, okay, he's an introvert. That's a fucking excuse. I'm an introvert, but here I am being animated. So I don't understand it. But I guess what Ron said is time and day. You have a good and you have a bad, and
I'm not doing it.
I just thought, like, as an artist,
No, this is what he did. he had all this pen ready to do a remark, right? And I just requested do it at the edge so he will cover up the climb. And he just like, I'm not doing it.
That probably interfered with what he was like.
Yeah, he probably had something in his head that he wanted to do, and he's an artist. So they get pissy about stuff. Yeah.
I don't. All he could have said no.
Yeah,
but it just sounds a little passive aggressive when
he did say no.
He did say no, but he threw his pen on the table like he was mad at me, like for doing something or for simple request. That dickhead. And
bitch.
The whole world is mad at you, David.
Yeah, and my comeback was, well, you said you would do it. You said you would do it. Of course, at the time, soon as he threw the pen, my tails went behind my legs. And like, like, but you said you would do it, please. Can you just doodle it?
I think he said he would do it. Then he looked up and realized that you're Asian. He's like, I'm not doing it.
Oh yeah, I'm fucking okay. Thank you.
I didn't know you were Asian.
Another freaking Asian.
Hey Neil, you're not gonna believe this. Some Asian dude came to my table.
Just say that.
What?
My experience with Neil was pretty boring.
He probably knew I knew David or something. Oh man. So Sticky Goose, admit to your wrongs and stop blaming other people for your stupid ass mistake. And as for me, I take the blame. Now I knew, and now I know, never approach an artist at anything after 3:30 because they probably will do a crap ass shop and they will probably say no, or they will say overcharge you for something they probably won't have time to put their full effort into it. But you learn it. You learn as you go.
You never know.
Great on a Sunday though. Like if you were to do that on Friday or Saturday,
it'd probably be all right.
Yeah. Lesson learned. Now I know. Now with that said, I think it's been over 2.5 hours, guys. Thank you very much for people in the chat. Comics of Culture, Dresher, Weapon X Squad, then SPL. Thank you very much for joining on the live, and we'll all see you next week. Until then, aloha, mahalos, and shoots.
Peace, everyone.